Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are on the second video of 3-3 for NAMs, okay? Talking about truth tables, guys, and these are a little more complicated, so you really got to pay attention so you get the idea. I'm going to try to color code the actual truth table to help you out a little bit, all right? But make sure you're paying attention because this can be confusing. It's actually really easy stuff, but people mess up all the time on it, so please just stay with me. Here we go. Starting off, we are going to go ahead and fill our truth table. So, to fill our truth table, what we always do is we start off with the P's and the Q's and the R's, and we roll the P's in the same manner with 4 trues in a row and 4 falses afterwards. And we always roll the Q's by going 2s and 2s. So 2 trues and 2 falses, excuse me. And then we do 2 more trues, and then we do 2 more falses. Even though my T's and F's are a little off, you know I'm doing my best, guys. And for the R, the normal method is 1 true, 1 false, all the way down. True, false, whoop, missed it. There it is. True, false. Oh, 1 again. Oh, that's a messed up T, but it's alright, it's a T. False, and a true, false to finish it. Now, to do this one, guys, starting points are very, very important. I'm going to start inside the parentheses because order of operations always says parentheses first. So inside the parentheses, we are going to take care of the letters first, the P, Q, and the R. So I'm looking at the Q, and I'm just following through the key. Q is true, true, false, false, true. You getting tired of this yet? True, and false, false. Feeling a little weird today, so that's why the singing is. Sorry about that. For the R, it rolls true, false, 1 and 1. Remember? Here we go. True, and a false, and a true, and a false, and another true, and yeah, you're really getting annoyed, aren't you? False. Gotta have fun some way, you know. True. Oh, missed it. And a false. All right, so now that was the first round. I'm going to color code this. First round is going to be in black. We'll do second round in blue. So, talking about the blues, I'm going to do the operating symbol inside the parentheses. We still have to do parentheses first, but we have to load the letters inside the parentheses first. Now, this particular one is and for and, they both have to be true. Therefore, this one is true. Whoa, that one was rough. Right there. However, as we continue to go down the list, it's going to be a little tougher to make this happen because they're both not true right here. Also both not true right here. Also both not true right there. But hey, we found another one. They're both true. That's a plus. And for the rest of them, you're going to notice that there are none of them. They are both true, so those are all false. So now the black was used to fill in the actual blue right here, okay? So the blue is what we're working with on this side. Now I'm going to come to the outside the parentheses now and take care of the actual letter because this operating symbol right here, the arrow, that conditional, that's the answer column right here. So let's deal with this. The negation of P is the opposite of P. So if P is true here, we get false. There's another false. Another false. Look at those F's. Those are quality. Another false, and then it rolls true, 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 true. The last column will be red. This is the answer column. The answer column is red. And it is based upon these two. The blue ones is what it's physically based upon at this point in time. Now, the conditional works always as long as you don't go false to true. False to true is the bad one with the conditional, okay? So here, this first one is false because it went false to true. But the second one, false to false, is fine. That's true. Remember, only false to true is bad with the conditional here, with the if then. That would make that one true. That would make that one true. Take a look. They're both true. That's fine. Even true to false is okay. You just can't go false to true. So this is still true. Still true. Hey, look at that. The last one's true. We had 7 out of 8 that were true. And again, this is the answer column that I'm circling right here. That's what I would be grading if I were grading it on a test. Just be aware of that. That's the first one, guys. Got one more for you, so stay with me here, okay? On the second one, we're conducting a truth table for a little more complex one. Not hard again, but it's a little more complex. Again, I'm going to load the letters first. So the P's go 4 trues. That was a messed up T again. Oh, come on. And then 4 falses afterwards. And a false, and a false, and a false. And the last one's false. We load the Q's. The Q's go 2 trues, then 2 falses. Keep it rolling. False. False. Then we load the R's. The R's go 1 true, 1 false the whole way down. True, false. True, false. True, false. And another true and another false. Now again, we're going to come over here. We're going to go inside the parentheses is the plan. So I'm focusing inside the parentheses and I'm dealing with the letters first. So inside the parentheses with the letters. Opposite of Q. Well, Q here was true, so this must be false. This one must be false, but now it's false, so it's true. And true. Continuing down, we're doing opposite of Q. This one would be false. This one would be false. And on the bottom two, since they're false over here on the Q's, the opposite of which is going to be true. That's a true. And that's a true. That's the opposite of Q. Now we roll the R column. The R column is just R, so you roll as is, the same ones that are represented. So we got a true, a false, and we're going to alternate the whole way down. A true, a false, true, a false, and a true and a false. Ooh, that's a messed up T. Still a T though. There we go. Now again, second round's blue. So rolling second round blue, I'm going to stay inside the parentheses because I must do parentheses first. Now I'm going to deal with the operating symbol. That is the conditional, the if then, and it only doesn't work when you go false to true. So as a result of that, this first one is false. Second one's true though. This one's got to be true. True to false is okay, just can't go false to true. But this one being false to true is bad. That one's going to be false. Got a true right here. The last two will also be true due to the fact that they are not false to true. That's the only thing that doesn't work with a conditional. I'm going to come outside the parentheses now and go to the P column. Just load the P's as you see. P goes 4 trues, 4 falses the whole way down. So a true and a true and a true. And let's do another true. And then we'll go false for 4. 2, 3, and the last one right there. All right, so those are the P's and those are the actual inside and the outside, the blues. And we base the last column, the answer column, off of the blues. So basing it off of the blues, we're looking at this right here as the actual answer column. That's the biconditional. Biconditional works if they both match, like true to true is true and false to false is true because they match. If they don't match, though, it's not true. So you notice how this T and that F don't match? That makes it false. But these two are both true. Both true. Also both true. And even both false works, because again, the biconditional works if they match, if they're both the same truth value. Here they are not both the same truth value. That would be false. This one would be false. And if you're looking at the last one, make a judgment real quick. They're not the same truth value. They would also be false. Again, the answer column is this one in red. Let's take a look at it. It is half and half if you count it up. Half of them are true and half of them are false in this particular case. And that's what I would be grading the answer column. All right, guys, this has been fun. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and learned something.